Hello everyone, and welcome to the first video ever I'm recording not from my usual background from my apartment in Croatia, but rather from this very nice hotel room in London in Heathrow, and it will serve as kind of a test of whether everything is set up correctly, as I'm using a new computer, new everything, and not really sure if it's been some 2 years since the last time I've created an interface and did everything from scratch. So like I said, it will be a nice test for tomorrow, as tomorrow is the start of game 1 of the 2018 World Chess Championship between Magnus Carlsen and Fabiano Caruana. And also, we will, as preparation, we've already seen 2 games from the 2012 Bilbao Masters. One that Caruana won in round 1, then Carlsen retaliated in round 6, as it was a double round robin. But at the end of the tournament, they had the exact same amount of points, and they had to go into tiebreaks. This is one of the games from the tiebreaks, and since I had a really tough day, and you all realized there was no video yesterday, pretty tired from the trip to London, this will be somewhat a short game, but a very interesting one, and it will also give you a chance to test your might solving the puzzle. So that being said, let's check out this very nice game, and hopefully, like I said, everything is set up correctly. But we won't know until I upload it, as that usually goes. Carlsen has the white pieces, and I forgot to mention, in tiebreaks this is a blitz game. So let's check it out. Carlsen opens with e4, we have c5, the Sicilian defense, knight to f3, e6, and now Carlsen doesn't proceed with the usual d4, but rather he goes for g3, preparing to fianchetto his light square bishop. Caruana does the same. He wants to fianchetto his light square bishop as well. We have bishop to g2, bishop to b7, attacking the e4 pawn, and now comes queen to e2, defending the pawn. We have d6, d4, c captures on d4, knight captures on d4, as it fits a Sicilian. Knight to f6, and now comes castles by Carlsen. We have knight b to d7, and now, as the d6 pawn is somewhat weak, Carlsen attacks it, rook to d1. And here you can't just continue development with black. If you continue with something like bishop to e7, you're gonna face e5, opening up a discovered attack from the light square bishop to this dark square bishop here. Sorry about that. I have no idea why that happened. Let me just check that. But yeah, okay, this is one of the things that we'll have to keep in mind. Let me just fix that. Seems to be something up with the interface. Yep, sorry about that. I noticed how angry you all were when the last time my interface faced problems. But okay, like we said, opening up a discovered attack from the bishop to the bishop on b7, and also the knight on f6 is under attack. So you do have to do something about this. If you capture on g2, then white will simply capture on f6, and now 2 of your pieces are under attack. The bishop on g2 and also the bishop on e7. So not something you want to do. On the other hand, if you simply play d captures on e5, you get knight captures on e6. And now after pawn captures, you will only now recapture on b7, but then rook b8, bishop goes back, and with the 2 weak e-pawns, white will be much better. If in the hands of a strong player, this will be winning for white in the long run. But okay, like we said, after rook to d1, Fabi first goes for a6, taking away the b5 square from the knight, but Carlsen goes e5 nonetheless. And okay, what's the idea here? Why did Caruana allow e5? Bishop captures on g2, we have pawn captures on f6, and okay, now it's a different story. Now you can move the bishop from g2, but there is no bishop on e7 to attack. But okay, after bishop to h3, here the bishop is no longer under attack, and here if Carlsen continues with something like pawn captures here, bishop captures, the bishop would already be attacking the knight here. Black could perhaps wiggle out of this one. But here after bishop to h3, it would seem Caruana missed a very nice move by Carlsen. So feel free to pause the video here and find this very nice idea that in the end Carlsen used to win this Bilbao Masters 2012 edition. So I will give it a couple of seconds as usual. For those of you who were able to do it, congratulations, you are an excellent punisher of weird blitz ideas. And for those of you who just want to enjoy the show, the move Carlsen played is queen to h5. And queen to h5 comes with the terrible threat of queen captures bishop, and also it pins the f7 pawn, making knight captures on e6 a pretty big threat. I mean, knight captures on e6 is a threat, but there's really no square for your light square bishop to go to. If you try something like bishop to f5, it doesn't really make sense. Knight captures, pawn captures, queen to e2 will win you the game. Either you will have to block and lose a piece this way, or knight blocks and then f4 will win the knight and eventually the game. But after this queen to h5 move, Caruana decided not to do this. He decided to play queen captures on f6. And here we have the simple queen captures on h3. So here Carlsen is up a piece, but still it's a blitz game. Perhaps anything can still happen. We have bishop to e7, knight to c3, queen to g6, and here knight to c6, not allowing black to castle, attacking the bishop on e7. Here, Caruana plays knight to e5, attacking the knight on c6. Carlsen simply captures it, king captures, and now bishop to f4. And here, Caruana resigned the game, as it was in this position that Caruana resigned the game, as there is really nothing to do here. He's down a full bishop, and there are no tricks in the position. For example, white, after black plays a move, white will simply attack the rook. For example, rook can move, taking away the b7 square. You can capture the knight and then get your queen to c6. And already you can see that black has no counterplay here whatsoever. You can play something like rook d8, captures, and then white will still be up a full piece with no counterplay for black whatsoever. So yeah, that's basically the game, and one of the tiebreak games that won Carlsen this Bilbao Masters 2012 edition. So that's it for this game. I do hope you enjoyed it and that I haven't blundered anything with this new setup. Hopefully everything is working correctly. The sound, the interface, the video, I'm pretty sure a lot of things can go wrong, so better just to test it. And also, since it's a very short video, I will share a story with you that happened to me today when I landed in Heathrow Terminal 5. There was this gentleman. I mean, I didn't plan this trip. It was like a spur of the moment thing because I had a lot of things well, this trip depended on a lot of things. And then when all of the things went well, I decided to take the trip, but I didn't book any hotels or anything. So when I landed in London, there was it was like a guide there was this gentleman, it was like for people who have no idea what they're doing, there was this booth where you could ask for information. And I talked to this gentleman there, and well, he was asking me, do I want to book a hotel? How will I get there? Do I know how to get around? And he was really, really helpful. You know, it's very rare to come up to such a helpful person. But the most interesting part was when he asked me, why did I come to London, you know, was it business or pleasure? I said, like, well, it's hard to say, you know, pretty much both. But then he asked me, like, why did you come here? I told him, I'm here to visit the World Chess Championship. It's taking place tomorrow in Holborn. And he says, that's very interesting, but you're the second person that already said that. I was like, and who's the first person? And he said that he was that the gentleman that said that before me was very good looking, and that he had like flocky or curly hair or something like that, and that he said that he was a chess champion. He also mentioned that he had a really a peculiar name, and then he remembered that he said that it was Magnus. And then I asked, was it Magnus Carlsen? And he replied, I'm not sure about the surname, but I think it was. And then when he Googled it on his computer and saw his photo, he said, oh yeah, that was the gentleman that said that he was coming here for the World Chess Championship before you. So yeah, that's pretty interesting, but it wasn't like we missed each other. I think he actually arrived yesterday, so, but still, a pretty cool story. I mean, you know, glad I came here. So yeah, hopefully everything works, the sound is okay, the video is okay. If everything is okay, tomorrow I'll probably throw in another warm-up video tomorrow morning, as I didn't do any yesterday, but hopefully everything will work out nicely. So that's the game. I do hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully I didn't blunder anything. I would like to thank Alessio Pataka, Mr. Gavin Wales, Ian McKierney, Alan Wisniewski, and Milad Bashirizadeh for a contribution to my channel. Thank you a lot. I really appreciate it. As usual, you can check two of my previous videos here. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you soon, most likely with another warm-up video, and then with Game 1 of the 2018 World Chess Championship between Magnus Carlsen and Fabiano Caruana. Thank you all, and I'll see you soon.